Everybody, this is the morning show on Sports 101. We are a bit late on schedule, but we are here now, and it's going to be another interesting episode. Apologies for yesterday's inconvenience, but we are back now, and we are ready to kickstart the show. It's another exciting episode here on Sports 101 on our YouTube channel. Remember, the show is brought to you by Nkunim Phones. Nkunim Phones is one of our big partners and deal with everything technology for Sports 101. And Nkunim Phones is located just around the Bank of Africa area at the Takrady Market Circle. So if you are looking to get your high-end phones, your mid-range phones, your phone accessories, everything you need when it comes to gadgets, not just phones, you get something that will be budget friendly for yourself. So when you go there, just tell them you heard about them from Sports 101, and you get some very, very, very interesting and very, very nice treatment from the lovely people at Nkunim Phones. So I'll tell you more about Nkunim Phones during the conversation. The guys are seated here. Remember, the show is also being supported by interesting partners from the blue side, Blue Zone, our friends from Chelsea.
Blue.
And it's interesting because we'll be talking about them today on the show in the Champions League fixture. That's all-important game against Barcelona. So if you haven't subscribed to the Blue Zone channel, they are on all social media platforms. Just search for Blue Zone. You find everything, especially for the Chelsea fans. You find everything Chelsea on Blue Zone, on TikTok, especially on Facebook. You find them there, and then you can have your wonderful, wonderful interactions there on social media with the Chelsea family. Now, yesterday marked 1 year since Ruben Amorim took over as Manchester United manager, and well, after that first game against Ipswich Town, he marked his 1 year in charge as United manager with a loss at Old Trafford against a 10-man Everton. We'll get into that conversation. We'll look at whether or not there's been improvement for this Man United side since Ruben Amorim took over a year ago. We'll also look at Vinicius Jr., he's turned down a contract extension at Real Madrid, and he stated that his relationship with Xabi Alonso is one of the reasons why he's turned down that contract at Real Madrid. Also, he's asking for a similar contract, that Cristiano Ronaldo had during his prime time at Real Madrid. So we'll get into that conversation as well. We'll look at whether or not Vinicius has a case to ask for a contract like that. There are also some talks about, some dressing room instability in that Real Madrid dressing room. Some players are not happy with, Xabi Alonso's management style. So we'll look at Real Madrid, especially as they are in action in the Champions League this week. We'll talk about Liverpool as well. Wayne Rooney says if he were Ancelotti, he would drop Mohamed Salah to make a statement to the rest of the dressing room. So we'll look at Salah's impact in this Liverpool side. So far this season, he's not really been the Mohamed Salah that we've known him to be. Would you rather drop Mohamed Salah from this Liverpool side? Again, Liverpool are in action in the Champions League. So we'll get into all that conversation because we'll be looking at Champions League fixtures for this week. There are some very, very, very interesting games this week. Top of those fixtures are Chelsea against Barcelona at Stamford Bridge. There is Manchester City against Bayer Leverkusen today at the Etihad. There are some other interesting fixtures. Napoli are playing home to Karabakh. There's Dortmund against Villarreal. Juventus going away to Bodo Glimt. Galatasaray playing home to Union Saint-Gilloise. Ajax Amsterdam will be playing at home to Benfica. And on Wednesday, it is Arsenal against Bayern Munich, blockbuster of a game. Atletico Madrid playing at the Wanda Metropolitano against Inter Milan. Liverpool at Anfield against PSV Eindhoven, a team that, their manager Ancelotti somehow knows very, very well from the Eredivisie. And Real Madrid will be going away to Greece to play Olympiacos. Tottenham away at the Parc des Princes against Paris Saint-Germain. So there are some very, very interesting fixtures. We will take a very, very quick turnaround. When we come back, we'll be delving into all the conversation, all the headlines, all the interesting stories. Stick and stay with us. The morning show, Tuesday edition, not really our thing, but we are just doing this to make up for lost time yesterday. And it's good to have a lot of you on board with us on our YouTube channel. So follow Sports 101 on all our social media handles, on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter. We are there, and you get all the updates. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Let us know what you think about all the topics that we discuss on Sports 101, and we'll have fun and a nice interaction in the comment section. Bafo Amako Edu is here. Very, very controversial. Bafo is here with us. Yes, Chelsea have a big game, so he will have a lot to say concerning that game. We'll have a lot to say about Ruben Amorim. Kofi is also here with us. Yesterday, he says the Man United are one of the teams that are close to Arsenal in competing for the title. We'll hear what he has to say after that embarrassment at Old Trafford last night. Hello, guys. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
We are fine from the
still.
blue zone.
Active still.
You know, the Blue Zone will be having a live
The
watch
Blue
along
Zone.
for the game tonight.
Yeah.
Yes, at
Modes.
Modes. So tell us about it.
Oh, it's just a casual meeting linking up with the Barcelona and then Chelsea fans. We want to be able to have a very good time in a viewing experience, and then no other place than the Moods. You know, one of the hottest place in terms of the weekend chills. So we
Where is
want
it
to
located?
on the Harbour Road, heading towards Beach Road. Just
Around
after,
where the Zen filling station is.
just after your wife's workplace.
Whose wife? My wife.
Yes.
Oh, you know where she works?
Yeah, I know. So on that lane, just there's a spot there.
So we should come there this
Yeah,
evening.
everybody should come there if you are watching us live. I mean, the whole crew is set to be there. Everybody should just come. Let's watch the game.
So it's for the Chelsea fans and the Barcelona fans.
I know a lot of United fans are hurt. This
Yeah.
is the only medicine for them, because the results for this match is something that will actually heal them one way or the other.
Why you think the United fans would?
They will need this particular result.
What result
for
would be
their
good
healing.
enough for the United fans?
Oh, I think that the Barca will be like a first aid, but the Chelsea one on a better diagnosis.
But Kofi, you should tell him that United fans don't wake up thinking about Chelsea.
They do. I mean, the result will. I'm telling you that they are hurt yesterday. Today's result, one way or the other, heal them. The Barca loss will be like a first aid to them, but the Chelsea loss on a better to the neck in the hospital, no shot the beam now. So total healing for them on this match.
I don't know what Bafo is saying, but as in Chelsea win,
No, definitely both teams one will lose, and
Yes,
United do
yes,
not
yes,
like
yes.
any of those teams as in terms of the United fans.
well, truth of the matter is that I cannot speak for all United fans, but I do not worry about a team that has 6 league trophies. Nah, I don't. 6, I mean, since when God said, let there be light, they want 6 league trophies. No, I don't think about them.
But they're in
And,
the Champions
and you know, they walk around with that tag, that Mickey Mouse tag of being champions of the world. They are not even the best club in London. You understand? That's the irony of the whole thing. How can you be champion of the world when you are not even the best club in London?
We are the biggest
You
team. in
know,
London.
but
We are the biggest team.
the you know, where's Chelsea on the league table when it comes to the Champions League? Where are they on
Let
the
me
league
get that
table?
for you right
can
now.
get that for me. You know, champions of the world cannot rub shoulders with their
When
contemporaries.
Chelsea, when
in Europe.
PSG won the league,
You understand?
when
Yes.
PSG
I
won
mean, come on. I mean,
when-
show me where they are on the league
They
table.
are,
When
they are
PSG
12th on the league.
They are 12.
good. When PSG won the Champions League, they were actually on 12th position. They qualified for the playoff, being
After
12.
match day 4.
Yes.
No,
They were
but
12.
let me make this bold pronouncement. If Chelsea are able to win the Champions League, I'll stop panding through. If this Chelsea team and the Maresca can win the Champions League, Asami Meji Ejumeye,
Like this
this
particular,
job won't be worth it.
this particular
This
season or-
particular Chelsea, yeah, this season,
Okay.
this Chelsea team and the Maresca will too much the Champions League now. Asami, this job won't be worth
You know, a
it.
lot of the
But
things
now
you
Chelsea
said
have won the
recently
Champions
have
League
not really
with
gone in your favor.
Chelsea have won Champions League with worse lineups and teams than this, right?
No, but all the time,
Chelsea won the first Champions League with Bertrand playing his debut as a left back.
And
Chelsea won the
Bossingwa-
Champions League with who? Kai Havertz as a striker. So I mean, these things.
No, all the time. All the time. All the times Chelsea have won the Champions League.
We have used Nkonkwo.
All the times Chelsea have won the Champions League, they have won it with strong characters, very strong characters. I mean, take the first Chelsea team to beat Bayern Munich at the Allianz Arena. You had Didier Drogba, you had Frank Lampard, you had all of the legendary figures. So there was a strong spine and there was strong character that ran through the team. Look, fast forward to the team that won the Champions League the second time. Mason Mount, Kai Havertz, all of those other boys. They had a strong coach.
Who was the coach?
Tuchel. Tuchel was the coach. You cannot underestimate his abilities. And when in that run to the Champions League final, it was no fluke.
Yeah.
Because in that season, in less than 3 weeks, Tuchel beat Man City with every kind of formation 3 or 4 times. You understand? They beat them in the league, they beat them in the FA Cup, they beat them in the Champions League.
So what makes you think that Chelsea do not have?
But this is Maresca.
Chelsea won it against Di Matteo.
Look. I've always
Chelsea won a Champions League under Di Matteo.
Yes, with Frank Lampard and Didier Drogba and all of those other characters. But who in this Chelsea team?
You don't think Caicedo
in this Chelsea team?
You don't think that James has character?
No, I've always told you.
You don't think that James?
I've always told you in private. I have always told you in private that there are only 3 good players at Chelsea. 3. There are only 3 good players at Chelsea: Caicedo, Reece James, and Cole Palmer.
Is there a better left back in the league than Cucurella? Is there a left back better?
He's not better than O'Reilly.
Oh please.
Well, we will get more into that Chelsea conversation because there's Chelsea, there's Barcelona. We'll look at where the game will be won and lost. I think it's going to be a very, very interesting game. Both teams playing different systems. Let's start with the trending story. Ruben Amorim, he's marked his first year in charge of Manchester United, and we saw what happened yesterday. So run us through what you think about his first year.
I should run you through.
Yes. Has there been any improvement in your opinion? Because you are a firm believer in Ruben Amorim. I think maybe not necessarily a firm believer, but you choose to support whatever he's doing. So, Buffalo do same. You think that the team is in a better position than he left the team, or than he met the team? And then let's get into what happened last night.
Well, first of all, I am a believer of Ruben Amorim, and not just a believer, an apostle. Understand? And so I believe very much in his methodology. I believe in his ideologies, and I believe that the principles that he wants to establish at Manchester United will, in the long term, run to the favor of Manchester United. I firmly believe that the issues about United are not just bread and butter. They are not just about who plays. I think for years it's been a systemic rot. Look, there are other people who have come in and said various degrees of things that are not so pleasant to the ears of Manchester United fans. Look, Van Gaal came in and gave a scathing report about what it is that happens in the inside channels of Manchester United. Your own good friend Ralph Ragnick gave a diagnosis of what it is that is wrong with Manchester United. I mean, to top it, Cristiano Ronaldo came and said his own. So the issues about Manchester United, it's not just about the issues on the pitch. It's about issues that run deeper than the issues on the pitch. You understand? That's why I feel that even post Alex Ferguson, for all of the some excellent managers that United has had, they've not been able to turn around the fortunes, because sometimes you need it to click into gear off the scenes before you try to focus on the field matters. You understand? So you look at characters like Jose Mourinho who have come in, Van Gaal has come in, there have been other characters who have come in. I want to mention some of the names of the Ten Hag has come in. He's not done excellently. And then the newest comer has to be Ruben Amorim. For me, I think that if you rewind and go back to the days of Alex Ferguson, there was a certain culture, there was a certain template. United operated in a certain status quo. And that is why I think that we necessarily, when I say we, I am talking about myself being a Manchester United fan and all other Manchester United supporters. You cannot get to the top not having gone through the organic way. I do not believe that the fortunes of United were going to turn in the north overnight.
What is the organic way?
Go through the pain. That's the organic way.
But this is not Moses and the Israelites. You don't need 40 years to go through the pain. United have been going through pain for.
Oh, you don't need 40 years, but I am happy that I am sitting close to an elder. You understand? And I am happy that it looks like God can call you in the absence of lucky.
Why
You
it
understand?
looks like I'm not yet qualified.
No, don't worry. God doesn't always choose the most qualified.
God works in mysterious ways.
Exactly. That's why it looks like he can call you. You understand? So if you look at what United have been going through, it is necessary they go through it. It is very necessary they go through it. And it was always going to be topsy-turvy. I mean, ups and downs. I mean, having to go through some of the things that they have gone through. Eventually, the natural order will settle. You understand? And those who remain will remain. I say this because, when we worked in, I told you that Ruben Amorim has been there for a year. We all see what he's trying to do, at least for once in a very long time. This is a manager who has worked in and wants to carry out thoroughly his methods. You understand? So even in the face of defeat, even in the face of unwavering unpopularity, he wants to stick to his methods. So that's a good thing. But you look at the instruments he needs to work, and I think that you cannot insulate entirely Ruben Amorim from some of the things that have happened at Manchester United. Look, I mean, you've always mentioned about the fact that he needs to tweak sometimes when the need be. I mean, for example, yesterday when Everton were down by a man, it didn't make sense that you continue to play in the back three. It didn't make sense because where was the threat from Everton? Where is it that Everton were going to worry Manchester United on the break or whatever it is? They were a man down. Why don't you put an extra body in the midfield? What would have happened if you had taken off one of the centre backs and put on Kobe Menu, even in the presence of Casemiro? So these are some of the things, and I think that quickly the manager has to adapt. I mean, if Ruben Amorim will be sacked at Manchester United, and this is a big if, it will be down to his stubbornness and his inability to listen to other dissenting opinions. We are not saying don't change the principles that have brought you so much success, but apply common sense when there is the need to. You understand? And I think that, like I said, I mean, the instrument. I mean, look, you cannot insulate the manager entirely from some of the things that have happened, some of the personnel. Dogu.
Patrick Dogu.
That guy comes from a shame. I'm convinced. You know what they do in a shame? They do a lot of sand winning. I don't know also. No. Listen, Sammy, and I say this with bouts of pain. Look, we've grown up watching some of the best left backs and wing backs and left wingers maraud down the left for Manchester United. Look, I grew up in a generation where we had Erwin. There was the good old Quinton Fortune. He was not even considered good enough to be a Manchester United starter. There was Dennis Irwin, there was Quinton Fortune. There were times that you had somebody like Mikel Silvestri. I mean, look, John O'Shea. And then you had the Rafael da Silva brothers. And then you had somebody like Patrice Evra. You understand? And then you had all of those collection of players. Players who did remarkably well. And you had Luke Shaw. When Luke Shaw pushed to the Dogu position, you realize the difference. If you have a left wing back who is supposed to be an integral member of your team, because the system that Ruben Amorim wants to play, the left wing back and the right wing backs are positions where they should be in a position to create a lot of chances. How do they create chances? They create those chances with their movement. They create those chances with the balls that they loft into the channels. But if you have a left wing back who cannot successfully cross a ball,
then you force the two number 10s out wide to do the job that the wing backs are supposed to
the
do.
wing back cannot cross a ball. Take him to the Vatican. Put a cross around his neck. If there's the need for exorcism, let him be exorcised. Because watching the game yesterday, you know, I've completely detached myself from everything emotions when it comes to football. But for some strange reason, yesterday's results really hurt me. It hurt me because I realized that Everton were there for the taking, but the methodology and the instruments and the people who needed to execute the job were simply not there. Some I've read around, some have called it an off day. I pray that we do not have this many off days, because what we saw yesterday was tragic. What we saw yesterday, you cannot hold in high esteem. What we saw yesterday, there is no justification for that. And United were utterly rubbish. I mean, look, I watched the game for 90 minutes, and at no point did I feel United were going to score a goal. At no point. Because everything was disjointed, everything was haywire, everything was all over the place. Coach was away from his senses. Senior players were away from their senses. Bruno was uncharacteristic. On another day, Bruno should have gotten a goal yesterday. I mean, look, but I think that's credit to Everton. They deserve the win. And credit to David Moyes. I will leave it to.
I think to buttress your point, he just tells us when you see the changes Amorim made, it tells you that the wing back role is very important, because he had to take off both wing backs in the game, trying to make something happen. Later on in the game, we saw him even swap Ahmad and then Dalot. Positions, just trying to make something happen from the flank.
No, but if you play a 3-4-3 or whatever it is, I mean 3-4-1-3 or whatever you want to call it, it's a 3-4-1-2. Sorry, it is important that you have wing backs who are aware of where they are. Look, I watch people like Dumfries. I watch people like DiMarco. They excite me, because they are wing backs worth watching. You understand? When Chelsea played in under the Napoli manager Conte, you watched the transformation of that Nigerian boy. You understand? As the right wing back.
Moses and Alonso.
Exactly. Look at the job that they were doing. Look at the level of creativity. When Klopp decided to use his wing backs or full backs as an outlet to their offensive channels, we saw the numbers of Alexander-Arnold and Robertson. So, in the modern era, wing backs, full backs, they play a crucial role in what it is that the team do attacking wise. And I think that when Ahmad switched to the right wing back, you realize that there was an instant change. All of it. Mazwari cannot cross the ball. It's terrible.
Well, but we saw what happened yesterday, and United had a barely non-existent bench. And it tells you that, as we always said, United's problem cannot be solved in one transfer window. What exactly has it been for Amorim in this first year? And with what Kofi said, the stubbornness in that game yesterday, because for a lot of people, including myself, I think United lost that game tactically.
Well, I think that with 1 year under Amorim, Ruben Amorim. You know, the first time he was appointed, we were then at Babylon under the Nebuchadnezzar.
Ten Hag.
Yeah. When he was appointed 1 year ago, we were at Babylon.
Yeah.
And I told you that, see, this is just not the job for this man.
Oh, the Babylon. Now I understand the Babylon.
You know, understand Babylon?
With Nebuchadnezzar.
Yeah. Yes. We are the sons of God, Israelites.
Yes,
You know,
yes,
Israelites,
yes.
they suffered when they were in exile in Babylon. They couldn't sing the Lord's song
Yes.
in a strange land.
They were in bondage.
They were in
They were
bondage
bondage.
in Babylon.
Under King Nebuchadnezzar.
Under Nebuchadnezzar. So when he was appointed, then like I said, yes, in Babylon, I told you that it's not going to work. He's actually rushed for the job. He showed a lot of desperation to the job. He was flying very high in Lisbon, and I could remember even playing the Champions League prior to him being appointed as the coach of United. He had not lost a single game in the Champions League. So this is somebody who was, working with a lot of promise. He comes in, and for me, he's one of the coaches that has been given the freedom at United. He brought the players he wanted. He changed the culture at United in terms of he brought a different culture altogether. He was not ready to conform to any nonsense, any character. Nobody was bigger than him in the dressing room. He brought in players he loved. The likes of Ugates were rusting there. He brought in Kofi's main man, Zeze.
Zexi was actually better than Ten Hag.
was under
Yeah.
Ten
Ten Hag.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I saw him coming up under
Amorim.
Ruben. So Amorim. So I think that he was given the freedom to also bring in what he wanted as a team or as a coach. He brought in the players that he wanted. Let's get it straightforward that under 1 year under Amorim, United has not grown in any way. They are still the United under Ten Hag. And I think that if Ten Hag had been there and given the same support, Ten Hag even sometimes struggled to bring in the choice of players he wanted. Because under then, United were not moving to a certain direction. Now, the issues of the backroom staffs, we should not dwell upon it again because we were here when a new quarantine was revealed. That Ronaldo talked about the leaking ceilings at the Old Trafford and then the training centers and all that. But we saw a plashed quarantine being shown to us. So it shows you that, okay, the players has been able to come into a situation whereby they have an atmosphere of feeling like big players or feeling welcome. So I do not want to think that the bad noises at United was a problem. The man is just technically not good and not cut for the job. He's just not good and cut for the job. Every game that he's played, we have seen his tactics and his approach towards the game. See, even the United game that he won against Chelsea, he realized that it was just the issue of Maresca being Maresca as it is. If Maresca had been as smart as Moyes did yesterday, he knew he was down by a man in the defensive aspect. What Maresca could have done was to take away an attacking player. He didn't do that. He kept on playing Jack Grealish, and then for the counter attacks, just in case. My man Maresca could have taken in an exciting player, could have taken on Neto, could have taken Garnacho, a player that could carry the ball. So that was the instance. The man is stuck to a certain role. It's just like leaving your ex-boyfriend in a marriage, and then you are still thinking about the things you're doing with your ex-boyfriends, right? He has played a certain formation with Lisbon. He then had this PSG young chap, the left back at PSG, is Mendes. Then at Lisbon, and we saw the job that he was doing for him under Lisbon. But this time around, you have players that might not be able to replicate anything that you were doing at Lisbon. So as a manager, try to first of all build your team around what you have right now, and then gradually impact it on your teams. When Maresca came in the first 5 games, he still wanted to play a certain role. He felt he then saw that he was not working. Then he had to reverse to what the players can do on the field of play and what the players offer. Then you can bring in the invention or whatever you want to do. Now the players understand it. Rhys James understand how to invert. We have seen instances whereby we have seen
Corella.
No, this boy
Gusto.
playing even at a 10th position, but we see him in the lineup as a left back. So then you gradually bring it, and the players will now understand what you want to do. But with Amorim, the problem has not been the players, I feel that United could have been very dominant if they had Baleba. However, with the players United have right now, bringing in Ahmad, bringing in Mwembo, bringing in Cunha, bringing in Shesko. Come on, these players are not substandard players. These are players that were getting the numbers in their leagues, respective leagues last season. In their Brentford was getting like 20 goals for Brentford last season. So it shows the player that has been proven. How are you using him? That's the problem. If you're not using the players right, if your tactics are not favoring the players right, it won't work. It has nothing to do with United needing players. I've seen rants about United thinking that they need more players, they need this, they need that. You don't need any players.
I want to say players because the system he's playing thrives on playing a certain way.
But who are they? Do they have the
wing
profile?
backs, for
No,
example?
but you realize that yesterday,
So just Dogu-
yesterday,
These are the reasons why-
Cunha and Sesko were missed yesterday.
Yes.
Whose force is it? We have seen Zesco also play, and then we've seen players like Bruno Fernandes not even finding him when he's running for space. How about that?
Bruno is actually also being played out of position.
Yes. When the issue of Kobe Menu came in there,
Yeah.
and then he said no, he can't bench Bruno. He was playing like a central midfielder. When you know that he's basically the free role guy, playing him as a 10, just behind the striker, he can get you the goals. Like what Eze is doing for Arsenal right now. But this is a manager who is stuck in his philosophy that, and there was even a commentary whereby he said he was not going to change it for any reason. No matter what, he was going to face the same problem. And yesterday, one of his commentary, he said that he's afraid, probably seen a deja vu. He's afraid that the issues of last season might unfold this season. When you carry such mentality to the players, you are actually carrying a defeating spirit. And the board, the owners, the United hierarchy have also given him his word that they are giving him more space, they are giving him more room for improvements. Arteta has been there for some time. Man United should be able to have the balls to tell the guy that, listen, we have bought these players. Play according to the strength of these players. Either that, you don't have any cause to complain. Kofi made a statement that you need to suffer to get it. And I find it very intriguing because Kofi is the same person who will not give Arsenal a breathing space. Arsenal has suffered under former French guy, Arsene Wenger. When they were not buying players, they wanted to invest in their stadium, they wanted to invest in the infrastructure, they wanted to invest in their scouting network and all that. And even to date, we have seen, I believe that if United were playing the way Arsenal were playing, right, you will appreciate it. Arsenal are probably ripped into the result that they had built. They have suffered for some time now. But still, Kofi will not give them a breathing space. He thinks that Arsenal should be able to win the Champions League. Arsenal should be winning the EPL. But he thinks that with United, they have suffered under Moses, under Joshua. They fought all the battles in the wilderness. They still be given a breathing space. They think that United has so suffer. For how long do you think that United needs to suffer to be able to start competing?
We are tired. We want meat. When we're
the manna is too much.
Yes. When we were in Babylon, we were getting meat.
Yes, in Babylon we were getting meat and garlic.
Now,
Good morning. Good morning to Nebuchadnezzar.
So see, he was the king that put 3 people in fire. Nebuchadnezzar was the king that put he wanted to be worshipped. He wanted to be worshipped. Everybody should bow.
No, he put 3 friends and Daniel
Yes.
No, he put 3 friends in the fire. I added Daniel, yeah. So we're actually 4. You understand?
Nebuchadnezzar, man. Hey. No. So see, United should stop wallowing in the fact that they need to have time. There is no time. We need to see United in the Champions League. And the worst part is that they're not playing any high-profile competition this season. And they are still rubbish.
playing once a week.
Playing once a week, and then you are still playing rubbish. What else do you need? It's just the fact that Amorim is technically, tactically, just not the pair for Manchester United. Or born. That's it. You saw all the red flags. You still want to coach this team.
Should they still be given time?
I will love it. I would love to be given 10 years.
Maybe another transfer window. Because
No,
obviously
for me,
United will be active in January.
No, if this is what United is going to be under him, so be it. I will want to see United in this direction.
No, but you know, if we are talking not as a fan, you are talking in terms of what United stands for as a football entity.
Kofi has made us understand that they need to suffer to get into the road, right? They need to go under Pharaoh. They need to be beaten. They need to be under slavery. They need to go through all this process. So for me, I when I sit here, I'm not talking just as a pundit. I'm talking as a pundit like Carragher, who do not like Chelsea. And as a pundit, I do not like United. And if United are going to be built in this form and Amorim, I will be happy if his extension is given to him.
Kofi, aren't you tired of suffering?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
You're not tired of suffering.
There's a reason why I still wanted to go back to Nebuchadnezzar.
You wanted to
Go back to Babylon.
You
Go back
wanted
to Babylon.
What was it? Is it a quail or is it a beef or is it meat
Yes.
that they wanted?
Is your
You
friend
know,
here?
like,
you know,
they
no,
wanted
you
meat.
know,
You haven't been eating meat.
you know,
in Babylon.
the point that Bafo makes about Arsenal and Arsenal suffering, the point that Bafo makes about I giving Arsenal pressure is down to the fact that the manager is the second longest serving manager in the league. You understand? He's been there this 7th season. So if a manager has been there 7 seasons and cannot win anything, obviously we need to give him a lot of pressure. So you cannot compare the Amorim situation to the Arsenal and Arteta
They need to
situation.
suffer. Why don't you also see it as them suffering?
But you know, Sammy, you make a point about personnel, and I think that with the sort of formation that Amorim wants to play, personnel is very important. You realize that United missed Cunha yesterday. You realize that United missed Benjamin Sesko yesterday. Because with Zegzi, yes, Zegzi can play on the ground, but United were forced to loft the ball higher.
Ahmad
You
was
understand?
frustrated because he put in a lot of balls into the box.
Exactly the point. If you watch the way United played against Everton and you want to probably do a transposition of the games they have played with different personnel, you realize 2 different entities. Totally different. I watched the game against Nottingham Forest. If they did play this way against Nottingham Forest, there's no way they were going to get a draw against Nottingham Forest. You understand? So that is where the quality in the squad.
Isn't this the
and
reason why some players are not getting playing time?
Exactly the point.
Justifying the reason why
Exactly
the
the
manager is not
point. I
allowing
mean,
certain
so
players
that
to
is where the quality in the squad needs to be ramped up. Because when Cunha is out, who are you bringing in? Yes, Mason Mount can do the job, but when Benjamin Sesko is out, who are you bringing in? What profile of player are you bringing in? Who can come in, walk in, and then do exactly the same job that Benjamin Sesko would have done? So those are the issues that United need to be addressing. I am totally convinced that, look, Amorim is the right man to lead Manchester United in the right direction. I like his cockiness. I like his arrogance. I like the fact that he knows what exactly that he wants to do. You understand?
But there's a thin line between arrogance and stupidity.
I agree. That's a slot. You understand? That's
Not
a slot.
Amorim.
That's a slot. I mean, you are speaking the same language I would have wished to speak for slot. You understand? So I think that those are the fine margins. But United need to start looking at the bigger picture. Look, I told you that recently I listened to an interview by Jason Wilcox. And he spoke about the fact that, yes, United want to improve. United want to buy the quality players. It's not just about buying quality players. It's about buying players who understand what it means to play for Manchester United, the kind of courage that it takes to play for Manchester United. You understand? So I'm not too worried about temporarily some of these results. Obviously, I am not worried. I mean, if you pay attention to Mikel Arteta, if you pay attention to Klopp, if you pay attention to some of the other managers who have come to some of the other clubs, I mean, they've had to go through this channel. And I think that United has proven in the past that it's not really about the coaches. It's about who and what you have in the club. You understand? Because they've been world-class coaches who have worked in after Ferguson, but it's not really worked. So sacking a coach is not really the antidote to what it is that is wrong with Manchester United. It's about getting all the other functions in the right direction and fine-tuning them so that the manager can get the best out of the environment, can get the best out of the players, and then can get Manchester United back on track. You know, when you coach and play for Manchester United, it comes with a different pressure altogether. Manchester United is not treated like any other club would have. We all see the things that Liverpool are going through this season. Are they being put under the same spectacle like Manchester United are? Does anybody ever talk about Chelsea?
They do.
Does anybody ever talk about Chelsea?
Chelsea are not. They're not in a crisis.
Which one?
Chelsea are not
How
in a
many
crisis.
points do Chelsea have?
They are second on the league log.
How many points do they have?
22.
22.
Yes.
How many points do United have?
United have 18.
What's the fast?
The fastest
Fast is
one
that
is
you-
second,
one
one
is
is
second.
10th.
No. 22 from how many matches?
But it doesn't matter.
12
22.
matches.
The
12
league,
matches.
United
12
lost the
matches.
league on goals
22.
difference.
No, 22 from how many matches?
12
matches.
36. So 12 matches. We are
Yes.
talking 22 out of 36. You understand? Chelsea are 4 points away from Manchester United. Nobody talks about them because they are small. Nobody gives a hoot about them.
No,
Nobody,
it's because they are not. No.
You
When
know,
Chelsea
nobody-
were
no-
suffering,
nobody-
they were talking
nobody-
about a billion being invested into them. They talked about players not standing up. They talked about the coach not being good enough. This thing, some of these things has been spoken about when Chelsea were under scrutiny. They talked about Chelsea.
When did
Anytime Chelsea were losing, they talked about a billion being invested. They talked about how many players have bought. They talked about the amount of money Chelsea had thrown. And when Caicedo was what? Wearing him Timberland boots and all that. We saw it. When Enzo Fernandez was not picking up form, we all saw it. So, I mean, the issue of Chelsea not being talked about, Chelsea have been talked about anytime they are tripping forms, they feel like, no, with the investment they have invested in their squad, they need to be playing the Champions League. They need to be qualifying for top four. They don't need to be where United are right now. And then when it is done, the criticism goes on for Chelsea. You see that the players picking up. So it has nothing to do with Liverpool have been criticized. The money that's been spent on them, they have been talked about. The Eketikis, the Isak and all that. We've seen them. The Florian Wirtz and all that. People talk about them.
Finally on, excuse me, finally on United, before we move on, Kofi talked about the quality of personnel, and talking about quality of personnel,
Yeah.
United will be losing players to AFCON. Two of them are two of United's best players.
Best players.
Does it get any worse for United?
It does. However,
Because you saw the bench yesterday.
yes, it does. It's very scary that United will lose one of their players. I mean, the best players in their team, who also add goals to them. These are not defenders. These are players that add goals to United. And you know how United struggle to score goals this time around. However, the January transfer opens a door for them to have the profile that they are talking about. Maybe in January, his scouting system will actually provide for him the ability to bring in profiles that he wants, players that he wants to buy, players that he feels they probably will complement his ideology on the field of play. And for me, it's just good news that the AFCON is in January. The transfer windows will be open for somewhere 1st January, and then he has the ability to probably buy
AFCON actually
players.
starts in December.
In December.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
It's just about a few weeks away.
Oh wow.
So
Maybe Ghana is
but
not
what I
part of
understand,
it.
the players are supposed to start reporting to
Yeah.
camp
A week.
on the 8th of December.
Okay, so that's where there were news that he's trying to
Extend
negotiate
for them to go on the 15th.
15th and all that. I mean, the country should stand up for their players. They need to come and play for their country. They need to come and play for their country. And maybe in January they can probably add up to your team.
Well, guys, it's still Sports 101 here on YouTube, and it's been a very interesting conversation. 1 year of Ruben Amorim at the helm of affairs at Manchester United. And let me remind you that the show is brought to you by Inkunim Phones. Inkunim Phones, as I told you earlier on, everything you want when it comes to technology, when it comes to your phone accessories, when it comes to whatever budget that you need for phones, you go to Inkunim Phones, and then they have customer friendly prices where you get anything within your budget range, from the high-end phones to the 17 Pro Maxes, to the S25 Ultras, to the Google Pixel Pros and all of that. You get them at Inkunim Phones. And for your mid-range, your low-budget phones, whatever you need there, phone accessories, chargers, your screen protectors and everything, Inkunim Phones is the place to be. At Takrady Market Circle, you see a big sign there when you go to Takrady Market Circle, just around the Bank of Africa. So get yourself to Inkunim Phones and let them know that you heard about them from Sports 101. And the CEO, Shadrach, will give you something really, really good there at Inkunim Phones. And also remember, the Fantasy Premier League is still on. The Sports 101 Fantasy Premier League. It was not a really good weekend for investors. Erling Haaland didn't register a goal. He's captain for a lot of people. And so the code is right there on the screen. It's not too late to join the Fantasy Premier League. You stand a chance of winning cash prize at the end of the season. And so join the Sports 101 Fantasy Premier League. Kofi is still somewhere down there. I don't even see him when I scroll. And for all his talk about,
I can see Lucky
he's somewhere. I understand his spot yet. He says he can see Lucky, but it wasn't a really, really good weekend for a lot of FPL managers. But it's not too late to join the Fantasy Premier League, and let's have some fun there on FPL or Sports 101. And remember, Blue Zone is with us here today, and then we'll be having live Champions League at Modes. So the Chelsea fans, the Barcelona fans, make your way to Modes at the Takrady Harbour area to have a live watch along with the Blue Zone team. And let's have a nice interaction in a very, very lovely atmosphere this evening. Kickoff is at 8 p.m. It's 8 p.m., right?
Yeah.
And so make your way there so you have somewhere nice to, to sit and then have some fun. And let's enjoy Champions League football tonight. And talking about Champions League, Real Madrid.
And talking about protection as well.
Yes.
You talk about Nkunun Phones.
Yes.
Protection is very, 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 very.
Is it the same protection I'm talking about?
What were you talking about?
I'm talking about screen protector.
Of course. So I was saying that protection is very, very good.
It's ambiguous. It could be any kind of protection.
We are talking about phones here.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, the viewers, they should know that no matter how beautiful it is, you still need to be protected. No matter how clean you think you might see it, you still need protection.
People like Lucky don't like protection.
They don't like it.
No.
Yeah. For me, sometimes I've not been protecting, but I think I need to start using protection.
The phone is expensive. You should go to Nkunim Phones and then get a nice protector.
Protection to the phone. This festive season, there'll be a lot of activities.
Yes.
So if you don't have protection, there's a will then I'll work out. So I mean, protection, we are all going to Nkunim for protection.
Exactly. And then talking about festive season, we don't have any partnership with any medical facility at the moment, so we can't recommend anything for you. So you need to protect yourself.
Protect yourself
during this festive season.
Yes, with Nkunim Phones.
Exactly. Lots will be happening, and so protection.
No matter
is very
how
important.
clean it is, no matter how beautiful you think it is, still protect yourself.
There are different types. So you can get the privacy screen protector. You can get the plain one. There's the matte one. So there are different flavors.
Colors are inside right
different
now.
sizes for different phones.
Yes,
so you make your way to Nkunim Phones. You get all of that.
Protect it.
Kofi?
Protect it.
Yeah, I've been
Vinicius,
smiling.
Vinicius,
do you like
you want to talk about
Yes,
protection?
I like protection.
You like protection?
Yes, I like protection.
Okay.
Protection. Every morning you have to protect yourself. Every morning.
Why only morning?
Which one?
Why only morning?
You protect yourself for the day. You understand? And in the course of the day, also in the course of the day, also you protect yourself systematically, periodically. You understand? So I share in Bafros ideologies of
Very
protection.
necessary.
Very good morning to Philip Ampofo.
He doesn't like protection. Vinicius Jr. wants the same contract as Cristiano Ronaldo.
Silly boy.
Hasn't he ended?
Silly boy.
He wants 30 million euros a year.
And I think that's I think that he's using the media to blackmail Real Madrid.
Yeah.
But if there's one person I know will not tolerate that sort of blackmail, it has to be Fiorentino Perez. I think that Vinicius Jr. is just on a charm offensive. Look, I mean, 2-3 weeks ago, yourself, myself, and Lucky, we had a conversation, and we spoke about the fact that Vinicius Jr. had dropped in levels.
Yeah.
You understand? And I was even trying to protect him. You understand? He had dropped in levels, as in, if you are picking the topmost cherry of world football right now, are you going to put him in that category? Are you going to put him in the category where he walks onto the pitch and instantly is a game changer? Are you going to put him in that category? Look, when Cristiano Ronaldo was in that bracket, he was a game changer. He's somebody you could go to battle with. You understand? He's somebody who, even when Zidane decided to ration his minutes, would come in and instantly make an impact. And he was a world beater. He was performing on the grandest of stages wherever you wanted him to perform. Look, I think Vinicius Jr. thinks he's somebody who we all think he's not. He probably sees himself as a prima donna. And those are the issues that I have with footballers of today.
But he's shown that he's good enough to play at Real Madrid.
He has shown. Is he still showing?
Consistency.
At Real Madrid, it's not about how good you were. It's about how good you are. Real Madrid are constantly living in the present continuous.
Just like United.
You understand? I will not
Let's
allow
continue,
myself to be misled by those unprotected shenanigans. So in Real Madrid, at Real Madrid, it's not about how good you were. Oh, look, Vinicius had a wonderful year 2 seasons ago. He was virtually the best player in the world. Today, is he the same player? Does he have the same level of influence on the pitch when he walks onto the pitch and plays for Real Madrid? Those are the questions that people around Vinicius Jr. should be addressing. You understand? It's not enough to have talent at Real Madrid, because if you do not maximize the talent, if you do not play well consistently at a certain level, people are going to gate crash you. And Real Madrid is a club that has shown in the past that he has zero tolerance for players who think they are who they are and really are not who they are. If there's a club in this world that is ruthless, that has shown that it bears no level of loyalty for players who probably are past their prime but are still living in a fool's paradise that they are who they think they are, it has to be Real Madrid. I will not be surprised if Perez sells him to Saudi Arabia.
Sure.
I will not be surprised. Because, you see, this kind of thing, it runs the risk of ruining reputations. And it's not just about ruining the reputation of the coach. It's about ruining the reputation of the people at the top brass. Because invariably, they are telling the whole world that Florentino Perez does not know his job. Why did he decide to bring Xabi Alonso? Because when your father Ancelotti was there, he was probably protecting you, doing a lot of the things that a lot of people have not spoken about. You understand? But I think that Vinicius, if he wants to be a Real Madrid player, should really, really tread cautiously. Because where he is treading, don't mess around with Al Pacino.
But Bafo, he also talked about his relationship with Alonso.
Yeah. I was going
Are
to go
there
there.
issues there in that dressing room?
Yeah, there are issues with Alonso, Rodri, Jude Bellingham. Certain senior players feel like Alonso is a little bit rigid. You know, when Ancelotti was there, he was basically caressing them, trying to protect them in terms of even their press conference and all that, their attitude and all that. And Madrid had also have the culture of these big players having a lot of freedom, whatever they do there. So it's been reported that Alonso has actually stopped a lot of things at the dressing room, like the number of people that come into the dressing room, for example. He stopped those things. Yeah, outsiders come into the dressing room. He's limited the training sections and all that. The time you should report in there. There were a lot of freedom in terms of the big boys, and he's also been like Ruben Amorim. Standing on his statics. That's why we don't see a lot of games for like of Rodri. He was even said to be moving during the transfer windows. He was in the news of moving, and later he committed his season to Madrid. Somebody like also Vinicius Jr. in terms of how he's been treated. You know, there has been issue of substitutions whereby he throws tantrums and all that. Alonso does not mind him, and then it's been reported that certain players are not really happy about the relationship they have with Alonso. Alonso, why specifically like a headmaster, trying to control them, but Ancelotti gave them that freedom. You could roll with them, you could smoke with them, you could do chill with them and all that. But Alonso is a little bit more of a Nebuchadnezzar in there. So that has been a problem with the the Madrid players and then the coach. and also sticking to the game plan and all that. The likes of Hendrick, for example, not having game times. It's been reported that he might move on loan to Lyon. So there are players who are missing minutes, and then there have been a problem. But other than that, it has to be the culture that he's actually changed the pop culture at United to more strict regimes in there. He's a young coach, and these are players that are achievers as well. They've won multiple Champions League, they've won league trophies, they've been under Ballon d'Or conversations and all that. So I think that with Alonso, he knows he's coming in as in quotes as a novice. He just won the Bundesliga. But these are players that they have seen it all before. Whatever that you are coming to win in there, they have won it. It was just like Mbappe coming to Madrid. They won it before he came in there. So he doesn't, even though he's an alpha male in the big figure in there, but they don't see him as somebody coming to add value to the team. So I'm feeling that Alonso is using it as his protection, probably an asset to him. That okay, if I go all on the level of these boys, I'll not be respected. There was a particular coach who won his first trophy, and then the players, I've forgotten the team. The players came to me like, "This is your first." No, Harry Kane. When Harry Kane won the Bundesliga, you saw how the players were actually trolling in the statement of disrespect. This is your first ever. That means that we're doing it before you came in there. So I want to ever change BBR. So Alonso is using that body language to the players so that he can get respect. And then for me, he's getting it. If he feels that this player is not fit enough, they should teach him. And I was surprised when Florentino Perez did not take the huge offer for Vinicius. There was statements of Saudi Arabia trying to invest almost $1 billion, a million pounds in there, $1 million of £1 million in there to purchase him, but he didn't accept that offer. If he feels he's too big for the team, it's going to be a distraction. I don't see Madrid sacking Alonso a season or two. I think it might be like a 3 season, especially if he's able to win the league again. Take the league away from Barcelona, he's able to make a very good case for himself in the Champions League. He might stay a season more. And if players are not going to stick to your instructions, just ship him off.
Okay, let's quickly get into Liverpool. Rooney has made very, very interesting statement. He says that if he were the manager of Liverpool, he would drop Mo Salah to make a statement.
Simple. He's the problem.
Salah is the problem.
He's the problem. He's not a problem as in he's not a good player. It's a problem because he won't be as effective as he is last 3 seasons. Klopp built the team through Mohamed Salah. If you listen to the interview with Manny and then Rio Ferdinand, he talks. He throws a little bit digs at Salah and how he was overly protected at Liverpool. Every single player, to the point that even Firmino had to sacrifice himself for Salah.
Tracking back,
putting the balls for him to score. There were times that every player wanted Salah to score, and that was how come he was able to build those numbers for himself. And then you saw those numbers dwindling when Mane left. We saw his performance; he could score, but we were not seeing that beast mode of Salah when Mane left, because those players who could put in the balls for him were no longer there. There were the issues of the birthday, the AFCONs and all that. We saw because Liverpool were just doing everything for Salah. Salah is not as effective as he is. He's slowing down. He's aging and all that. He might not be able to carry up the shape of Ronaldo, like of Messi's, whereby even as growing up, they could still put in that shift. Still, they want to play through him. And he's not going to be as effective as this. Because now there are different profiles that has joined the team. People are probably chastising the likes of Florent Wirtz. I don't think it's because he's not good. It's because he's playing as a system whereby he's playing as a central midfielder, a CM in that team. Whilst in Leverkusen, he was the main man, the 10. He was scoring because he was given the role to go forward. At Liverpool, you are told that the moment you cross the center line, the moment there's a space for us to attack, you don't move in there. You play a through pass to Salah for Salah to score. So now people are talking about his numbers. He's not scoring, he's not giving assist. Because when Salah is now dashing to spaces, he's being blocked. So now you lose your assist and you lose your chance to also score. You don't see players says what's his name? No. Soboslai. Save Soboslai, who tried to shoot from afar. How many players do you see them scoring when they have the opportunity to score? They always want to play through Salah. And that has been the problem. The man brought in Eketike, different profile altogether. He brought in Isaac, different profile. Now he brought in Vet. Why don't you build your formation around these players? This Eketike is somebody that can score. Why do you still want to play in through Salah? Isaac is a finisher. Let's not kid ourselves. One of the best finishers in the world. We saw him at Newcastle. One of the best finishers. And if you are playing a finisher and then you still expect Mohamed Salah to come and finish your games for you, then where are you heading to? And he's a big boy. You dare not drop him. Or you dare not make a statement that will make him feel that, okay, your time is up. Remember, he already signed like a 4-year contract at Liverpool. So now you don't make him as if you're not good, so I want to bench you. The problem is that they now have a different profiles that they need to play through. Eketike, we've seen him, even his few chances that games that he started for Liverpool, we saw the sort of finishes that he was making. Why don't you play through these boys? If Florian Wirtz is your 10, play him through that. He can be able to push the balls to Eketike or Isaac if he's playing behind them. But if you are still playing all these creative players and you still want Salah to be your man that will finish, then you're going to have this result. It's a problem with the coach. He still want to feed on last season performance of playing through Salah, but Salah is aging. There was a point in time whereby Kevin De Bruyne was not effective. No matter how much he was good in terms of assists, he was shaped out. He started having limited game time and then he was sold out. So is Salah. I don't think he's a bad player, but philosophy of having these players and still wanting to play through Salah is the problem for
Kofi, you mentioned this just before, even when Rooney came out to talk about it, you talked about Salah being dropped.
Yeah.
Is it at the point where, the team has, as Asapafor said, the team has sacrificed over the years for Salah, making him the main man? Are we at the point where Salah needs to be a team player and sacrifice for some of these other guys in the team?
Well, I think back four makes very crucial point and then makes an even more important point at the end. He spoke about Kevin De Bruyne and he spoke about the over-reliance of him at Manchester City and then subsequently having to be dropped, you understand? Yes. And probably he did not say it directly, but I'm pretty sure that the point that he wanted to make is that the best managers in the world are ruthless. They do not act on emotions.
Exactly.
Look, the reason why Pep Guardiola is Pep Guardiola is because he has zero emotions. Yeah. When he feels your time is up, your time is up. Look at Vincent Kompany. Look at what he did to Zabaleta and his friends. You understand? So it's not really about your loyalty to the club.
Before Sammy married, that's not you. That's
before Sammy got married.
Yeah. What time?
I was ruthless.
Yeah. He had a lot of protection.
Yes, a lot of protection.
Yeah, so he could make all of those
but
decisions.
I was nothing like Pep Guardiola.
No, but the point I'm making is, and I'm sure that that's exactly the point that Barfour sought to make. The best managers in the world are the best managers because they know when a player's time is up. Look, when Pep Guardiola decided to move on Kevin De Bruyne, I had a lot of commentary that, City could have kept him for a season more. City could have kept him for 2 seasons because this is Kevin De Bruyne. The difference between Pep Guardiola and then subsequently the managers at Manchester United is that Manchester United do not know when it is that it's game over for players. Paul Scholes went into retirement. They brought him out of retirement. Paul Scholes came to play football again. And they did not even know how to manage his transit. You understand? Liverpool and Salah are those crossroads now. But for no say it. But Salah is on retirement. Officially.
It's finished.
He's done. He's done. You cannot convince me Salah. The day I saw O'Reilly pocket Salah, I knew he was done.
Maybe he just needs to move on from that environment. Sometimes your time is up in a certain environment.
Look,
he might
Salah should go to Saudi Arabia. He should go to Saudi Arabia. His friends are having bicycle kicks there. You understand? I think that Salah's time at the top level elite football,
It's over.
he is 33, but the guy's odometer, if you read on his odometer, Padin will run kilometers. Look, from Basel to Chelsea to all of the teams that he has been at, look, the guy has, Salah does not need proving to anybody.
Mileage not say.
Mileage not say. Ewa, can what?
What you are?
Bafo wants to take me into
Another reps. I know, right? What you cannot have any beer.
No, and I think that this is where Slots needs to earn his money, because clearly, like Bafo said, Liverpool are at crossroads. They want to transition on, and you are not going to transition on with Salah being a key element in that onward transition.
Yeah.
I think that era is gone. I mean, Mane, Salah, Firmino, it's gone. Now, like Bafo stated again, you have a proper number 9. The time that Salah has been at Liverpool, they've never had a proper number 9.
Yeah.
Because no proper number 9 would have thrived with Salah in the system.
Original.
All the best players in the world are selfish. And if you want to buy and play through a proper number 9, you are definitely not going to thrive with a player like Salah. Because, look, when Salah sees a gap, he will shoot. He will not pass the ball.
Yeah.
Salah is not a passer. So now you have the likes of the Ketikis. You have the likes of the Isaks. You are going to conflict movement in the final third. Because Salah is an old dog. You do not teach him new tricks. It's not now that you are coming to tell Salah that when you see Isak, pass the ball to Isak. Salah would rather score, because that has been his inclination. You understand? So, and coming from Wayne Rooney, I think it speaks a lot of weight. Yeah, it carries a lot of weight, because this is a man who has worked under some of the legendary managers. And remember, Wayne Rooney has also been a manager, albeit not successful. You understand? So he understands the tenets in the dressing room. He understands the effects of having some of these things in the dressing room. And look, if you are Liverpool, you need to make an example of somebody, because now nobody wants to take the blame. I watched an insert yesterday from one of the Liverpool greats. I think it was that guy who used to talk a lot of nonsense when he was on TalkSport. Now he's on retirement.
Souness.
Who?
Graham Souness.
Souness.
Is he the one? Yeah.
Graham Souness. Yesterday they interviewed him. You know, and he said something that really touched my heart. I've never liked him. But he said something that touched my heart. He says that if you look at the Liverpool squad now, when you're a top-level footballer, all you need is one person in that dressing room who will stand up and take responsibility for everything that is happening. And then the rest of the chickens will just follow that one person. But if he looks through the Liverpool squad now, nobody wants to own up. Nobody is a leader in that dressing room. You understand? So if you have Van Dijk, if you have Salah, nobody wants to own up, because they are allowing the coach to be thrown under the bus. The players are not owning up. They are not taking responsibility. So I think that this is where the coach needs to make an example of somebody and then whip the other boys into line.
Because even in the post-match press conferences, you
Look at some
never
of the-
see Salah come out and take own up or take responsibility.
Look at the last press conference that Van Dijk did. Some of the things that he said, scandalous. Absolutely scandalous.
And here's the case where you have Szoboszlai playing at right back, and then you have Salah in that same position. He will always
Look,
suffer.
the point is simple. Szoboszlai is captain of Hungary. He's captain of Hungary. At the end of the day, he knows what it is to be a leader. But when there are top alpha males in that dressing room who seemingly are untouchable because of the coach's action, other people will fold up. They will tell you local palace. nobody would want to be at the forefront because at the end of the day, look, if you go through the Liverpool squad, Van Dijk is captain of Holland.
Yeah.
Szoboszlai is captain of you can't say Hungary. The goalkeeper, he's a top player in the Brazil national team. He's Brazil's number one when he's fit.
Yeah.
You understand? So
Salah is captain.
Robertson is captain of Scotland.
Yes.
Yes, he's captain of Scotland.
Yes.
So you look through all the dynamics and look, there are people in there who would want to take responsibility. But once there's Salah puts in shitty performances.
But he's also a captain.
He's captain of Egypt.
Yes.
No, he's not captain of
He's not captain of Egypt.
He's not captain.
But he's one of the big boys there.
Yeah, he's the big boy in Egypt.
Okay, but it's not the first captain.
No. You know, but
Okay.
see, Salah puts in shitty performances. Shitty. But it's still played. At the end of the day, what happens to meritocracy? But he wants to own up. And I think that Rooney couldn't have said it any better. In fact, if I were Liverpool, if I do not sell Salah in January, sell him in the summer. Because I've read rumors about them going after Semenyo.
Yes.
Yeah, for now they remain rumors. But I've come to realize that in the English press, there's nothing like a rumor.
Yeah.
Once those stories start circulating, it means that there's a firm offer somewhere. You cannot place Semenyo and Salah in the same team. You understand? So if Liverpool are seriously looking at Semenyo, then it means that they are seriously looking at Salah with one eye. And for me, sell him in January.
He'll make some bucks from it.
Sell him in January because, look, Salah has given you his best. He's a PL legend. When he walks away from the game, over the weekend, he played his 300th game for Liverpool. Only 5 players before him have done that. Carragher is top of the list. You know, Carragher has the most appearances for.
Jamie Carragher.
Yeah, he has 523 or something. Ahead of Gerrard. You understand? That's why he can speak a lot of nonsense because he's a Liverpool legend. You understand? So I think that I agree perfectly with Bafo. I agree perfectly with Wayne Rooney. I mean, come on. I mean, make an example of him, move him on, and then liberate the other guys. Let the other guys breathe.
Well, guys, we've had very interesting conversations. We've talked about Amorim and Man United. We've talked about Vinicius Jr., Real Madrid. We've talked about Mohamed Salah, Liverpool, and their challenges. Let's get into Champions League. Chelsea against Barcelona at Stamford Bridge tonight.
Yeah.
What's your take on that game?
You know, when I was coming before you
One is 11th, one is 12th.
Before I came into the studio this morning, for some strange reason, the area boys had ganged up.
Against who?
And they were singing songs this morning.
Oh.
You know the song they were singing this morning?
Sing to us.
I don't know who it is that they were singing for. You understand? But look, those boys, they are legendary. They are prophetic. You understand? They can see a lot of the things that tonight is going to be interesting. But I'll allow Bafo to take the first shot. Yeah.
Well, I feel like this game is purely tactical game. I as a Chelsea fan, I'm very, very of the belief that Chelsea have the men to actually face Barcelona. This Barcelona team is a very ordinary team. Let's be honest with ourselves. This Barcelona team is a very ordinary team. We saw them against Club Brugge. Any team that play technically, tactically, face them, right? You are going to beat them. We saw how they suffered against Club Brugge. And they have shown you, even all the Champions League matches they've played, it has showed you that if you play a certain way, right? If you are disciplined and play a certain way, you're going to punish these boys. One of the main assets of Barcelona against Chelsea right now is finishing. That's the only problem now. What's his name? Lamine Yamal. At the least chance, he's going to bury his chances. Rafinha is back. The least chance, he's going to finish it. Fermin Lopez, that's his name, right? Yeah. The least chance he's going to finish. And these are excellent finishes, which Chelsea do not have. we saw some sort of finishing in João Pedro in the Club World Cup, but we wide down to the league and it looks as if the man is actually not from Brazil, maybe from Eritrea, because he's actually lost some touch. I don't know if he's playing through pain or he's just not confident enough.
Could it be the absence of Cole
Palmer
Palmer in the
as well,
team?
yes.
But
But
at the
even
Club
if
World Cup, we saw
that partnership, yes. Delap as well, he has a certain asset, which is to make sure that he's always in contact with the defenders, so they don't have that tendency of playing the high line, right? This time around, Chelsea, in the terms of the midfield, they have the men to chase the ball. And I know Chelsea are going to suffer in the terms that they will run a lot around with the ball, with how Barcelona play. It's their DNA. Whether you are playing under 16 or under, they're going to play the same part. Do Chelsea have the men to actually stop these attacks? Yes. Whether Gusto is playing, whether James is playing, whether Caicedo is playing, Enzo is playing. Cucurella, I don't even have a problem because Cucurella has actually pocketed every single threat in terms of any player that has shown up. Saw him against Dembele, for example. The whole world was Cucurella. He stopped him. So when it comes to high-flying wingers...
But he's up against Lamine Yamal.
I mean, come on. This is Yamal, no? Yamal has a... Or who much you want. But if I'm telling you that if the ball... Yamal is just for bottom of uniform. Garnacho is put the ball through me, let me go. Pedro Neto is play the ball through me, let me go. If Barcelona are going to attack Chelsea as the way they have been operating, and Chelsea remain disciplined, right, with a coach selection, Caicedo and Enzo won't be anymore. For ball to me, a mistake in not for ball to each. I don't think any Barcelona player right now has more pace than Pedro Neto in terms of running with the ball. So if it tells you that if Chelsea are able to break that line, swinging very incisive, intelligent passes, Garnacho is I'm sure he's going to play, will not be selfish enough, will know when to pass the ball and when to cross the ball, when to place in that pass. Listen, Chelsea have everything to beat Barcelona. Save the coach. He's the only person I do not trust. Maresca is the only problem. My only problem is Maresca. Because he has shown that games that it matters, he overthinks. He overthinks and he makes very silly mistakes. Things that can be resolved. Give me a simple, Sammy. Give me a simple. Play in Chaluba, play in Fofana. Right? Mam Cucurella, give me Reece James. Give me, even play Gusto in there and push James in that midfield role together with Caicedo and Enzo. Play Neto, play Garnacho, play João Pedro. We can beat this Barcelona team. This Barcelona team now, you see, when Barcelona fans think, when they hear Chelsea versus Barcelona, they still think about Iniesta, I don't know. These are not the players. These are not around this the area whereby you meet Barcelona and then William Shishono. It is not so. If Chelsea are disciplined, this Barcelona team is a very ordinary team. Outside of Brentford, how different is Barcelona from Brentford? They are not, or even Sunderland. They are not different from them. Yamal. We saw them against Inter Milan. Inter Milan then, even at the league, were suffering. But you remain disciplined and tactical. You can beat this Barcelona team. I'm not really worried about this Barcelona team.
But Kofi, Bafo has given us very, very brilliant analysis here. And he talked about the base. Enzo, maybe Reece James in the middle, together with Caicedo, sitting deep, and then capitalizing on the pace of the likes of Garnacho and Pedro Neto. It makes a lot of sense because Barca play a high line. So those through balls can actually go in behind this Barcelona backline. And if it has to do with through balls and pace, I don't think the Barca backline can deal with the pace of this Chelsea forwards.
True. I mean, so you're looking at Jules Koundé and then Balde,
yes,
potentially against Garnacho and Neto. That's something that you can lick your lips around. You understand? I agree with Bafo for so many of the things that he said. I mean, look, Barcelona are not going to come up with any surprises. Hansi Flick is like Amorim. Or anything. He's not going to change the high line overnight. You understand? Barcelona are going to play the high line. So Chelsea at least know what it is that they need to do. But, you know, when Bafo speaks about the fact that problem he has with the Chelsea setup is Maresca. I think that I do not wholly agree, because if you watch Maresca very well, the guy really shows up in the biggest of games.
Against Bayern Munich, not Okoye. I'm a red card.
Oh,
against United, they get down
against
the man.
Bayern Munich, it was not really the serious end of the season. You
Against Bayern Munich,
understand?
why they get out?
You understand?
When they share the program, now boys will do the chin. Which you know bad.
Oh God. I look, Maresca has the capacity to be a beautiful thinker. Maybe sometimes he overthinks, but I agree that Chelsea do have the weapons to nullify the threats that Barcelona brings along and then initiate their whole attack. I think that this will be a game that will be won in the midfield. It will be a midfield battle, and it will be about decisiveness in the final third.
Barcelona carry a lot of threats going for this. Lewandowski is back. Rafinha, Lamar,
No, come on,
Yamal, Rashford is also back in the team.
Look. Lewandowski is 38. Ordinarily, he should not be a threat to Chelsea. He shouldn't. I don't like Chelsea. Everybody knows it. But if there's one thing that I admire about Chelsea, it's their work rate. They work like horses. They work like people who live under Nebuchadnezzar. You understand? So in Caicedo, in Enzo Fernandez, whether you play Reece James, he's technically good enough to play in that role. You understand? I think that one, I will look out for the concentration levels of the Chelsea players. When you play against Barcelona, you cannot afford to drop in concentration level.
Because they will have the ball for
Exactly. They will wear you out psychologically.
Yeah.
Because they will pass around the ball. You understand? And any player will tell you, any ex-footballer will tell you that one of the most frustrating sessions to go through is to chase a ball.
Yeah.
It wears you down psychologically.
Chasing the nah.
Yeah. So I think that the concentration level of the Chelsea players needs to be top notch. Because once Chelsea break, and based on what we have seen, look, I mean, Club Brugge do not have the quality that Chelsea does possess. But they showed that Barcelona at their lowest are very vulnerable. You see that free boy at Club Brugge? I think that if you give Garnacho half his salary, he can do that job and do it more. So for me, it's about who is prepared to take the bigger risk. It's about who is able to keep their concentration levels. It's about who is able to execute the moment. Yeah. But that said, it should be a good game. But let me sound the word of caution. This game will have a lot of goals. A lot. If people don't take care, they will be at the wrong side of the receiving end. Let me sound that caution again. So one share goals are obejino. Senkofu bi ahwe ya. Goals are obejino nimbiri no.
Who are they?
Oh, for now, yeah, I mean, a lot of things are ringing. There's no clarity in my thoughts. You understand? But I keep hearing goals. Careful. But it should be a great game.
So playing Barcelona and being gay are the same thing.
Why?
They all chase balls.
Anyway, finally, let's look at Arsenal against Bayern Munich. Two teams unbeaten so far in the Champions League. That game at the Emirates on Wednesday.
Yeah, man.
Arsenal have not really had it easy against Bayern.
They'll be beaten.
At the moment, they look like one of the best teams in Europe.
They'll be beaten.
Arsenal will be beaten at the Emirates.
They'll be beaten. Oh, look. Arsenal is Arsenal. And when it comes to the Champions League, Arsenal are like Club Brugge.
Yeah, one of the favorites too.
They are like that team in Azerbaijan, Karabakh. Arsenal's pedigree in the Champions League is not bigger than Karabakh. They are minnows. I don't care however you want to put it. But for a team that has been in existence for over 100 years, one Champions League final goal. Bayern Munich will walk to the Emirates and deliver a statement.
Bafo, do you agree?
I don't. I feel like Arsenal this season are the least team you would think that you push over them. They hold the record of the most best defensive team in the Champions League and even the league proper that they play. They have changed that mentality of being just an Arsenal. I think that this Arsenal team are built on a different mentality. They are built on a very strong mentality, and then it had shown in even how they play. People complain where Arsenal were just playing beautiful football and not getting the result, but this time around they are playing effective football. People have called them what's the name? There's a name they throw them with.
Stoke City.
No, like
Arsenal?
Yeah, haram football and all that. And I find myself like, how do you call this football haram? They are very effective. They started with their set pieces in the corner kicks, and we're like, Arsenal, they should go to the corner kicks. I'm asking myself, is it not part of the game plan? We all build our game plan around something, either set piece, either free kicks, or that, whatever you do. But this is an all-round team. Arsenal will play to get a result. They have this. How to focus on from that?
Never say that.
Never say die, and that's what I see. They forget. If you think that Arsenal are a pushover this season, forget about it. It's football. You can just out of the blue say that yes, Bayern Munich are going to win. But there's one thing I can assure you, that this Arsenal team are not pushovers. You will struggle to beat this Arsenal team. Because how they play, how they set up, even the mentality they play, Charlie forget. From the defense to midfield to the attacking, and then they have saved their injuries. They should have one of the best bench in the world right now in terms of football, in terms of their bench. When Saka is going, Madueke is coming. And even the few games that he played, it was virtually one of their best wingers, trolling Chelsea of selling one of their best players for them. If you look at the striking force, they are there. Gokares, when he came, struggled, but he started scoring, and then all of a sudden the noise has died around him. So from the midfield to Charlie, this Arsenal team for me, probably it might be football superstition to say that they are cursed not to win a trophy, but I don't see anything stopping them from winning the league and the Champions League this season in terms of how they are playing. And then if you are doing your permutation analysis, I think they carry everything to beat every single team in the world.
No, I disagree. I do not think that player for player they even have a better team than Bayern Munich.
You don't think so?
Nah.
I think Arsenal have a better squad.
No.
When Chelsea played Bayern Munich,
no. Who in that
player
Arsenal,
for player,
who in that Arsenal team can lace Olise's boots? I mean, come on. Who in that Arsenal team can lace Olise's boots? He's not as good as Olise.
Saka is there.
No. All of these guys, Saka.
Yeah.
Saka is as good as Olise.
Yeah.
Hell no.
No, we saw Olise at
Hell no.
Olise is
You are seeing Olise at Bayern Munich.
Yes.
I think he's one of the most underrated players in the world.
Of course.
Look, we are talking Harry Kane. Mm-hmm. We are talking Serge Gnabry.
Oh, please.
You understand?
Please.
We are talking Joshua Kimmich and his friends at the back. And you want to mention who? That's Declan Rice and Zubimendi.
But they are a better base. Rice, Zubimendi, as compared to Pavlovic and what's the other one? Goretzka.
Who?
Or even Kimmich in the middle.
They are what?
Better than them.
I think the Arsenal midfield looks stronger.
They look stronger, or they
are
are
actually stronger.
I don't think so.
Zubimendi, that three.
No,
Eze, and Rice.
No, look. This Bayern team went to Park the Princess. Is that what they call the name?
Yeah, Park the Prince.
Park the Prince.
But we know PSG were not playing well at the time.
No,
They
you
they
can
had
make
dropped points
you
in
can
the
make
league in
excuses for
subsequent
you can
matches.
make
So
excuses.
it wasn't
no,
rocket science.
no. Look at the level of opposition that this Bayern Munich team have met. Look at the level of opposition that Arsenal have met in the Champions League this far, and tell me, okay, they are the two unbeaten teams in the Champions League. Tell me which one has met better opposition, and then has been able to override that level of opposition. I think the people really are disrespecting Bayern Munich. Honestly, I heard your producer shouting in the background when I kept mentioning some names. I think people are disrespecting Bayern Munich. And for me, Bayern Munich are one of the dark horses in the Champions League this time around. How can you put Arsenal in the same category to win the Champions League? Arsenal will not win the Champions League. Arsenal will not win the Champions League. I don't care what anybody thinks, but I am sitting here telling you that however the story ends, Arsenal will not win the Champions League.
Guys, well, let's know what you think in the comment section. Arsenal in the Champions League. We've had very, very interesting conversations, but let me also run by the other fixtures for the Champions League today and tomorrow. So there's Ajax against Benfica, there's Galatasaray against Union Saint-Gilloise, there's Bodo Glimt against Juventus, there's Borussia Dortmund against Villarreal, and Chelsea against Barcelona at Stamford Bridge. Manchester City play at home to Bayer Leverkusen, Marseille against Newcastle United, Napoli against Karabakh, and then Slavia Prague against Athletic Club Bilbao. Then on Wednesday, it's Copenhagen against Kairat Almaty. There's Paphos FC, who are a very, very stubborn side right from the playoffs. They've been causing a lot of people to lose investment. Paphos, these people, you don't really bet against them. They are against AS Monaco. There's Arsenal against Bayern Munich. There's Atletico Madrid against Inter, who are also unbeaten, by the way, in the Champions League. They are the third unbeaten side in the Champions League. They go away to Atletico at the Wanda Metropolitano. There's also Eintracht Frankfurt against Atalanta. Then Liverpool against PSV Eindhoven. There's Olympiacos against Real Madrid. There's PSG against Tottenham. And Sporting CP against Club Brugge. So these are the fixtures for the Champions League. We would have a post-match analysis on Thursday when we come back on the morning show on Sports 101. It's been a very, very interesting show here. We've had a packed conversation from Amorim to United to Real Madrid to Vinicius to Arsenal to Chelsea and Barcelona. And so let's meet at Moats tonight for the Champions League with the Blue Zone team as we do Chelsea against FC Barcelona. And remember to subscribe and like and then follow us on social media and also join the Fantasy Premier League, Sports 101 Fantasy Premier League, league. And so you can stand a chance of winning very, very big prizes at the end of the season. That one is kind courtesy our producer, Jeff. He is in charge of that. And so I know he's working on something. Django Adam. So you find him Django Adam on Facebook. And so Baffa was here. Kofi was also here. We've had a very, very interesting conversation. Guys, do you have anything to say?
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
We'll go and support our brothers on the Blue Zone tonight. Yes. We should have fun at the moat. No, today we had rehearsal sessions yesterday.
Yesterday. Today you're available.
Yeah, so today I'm available at the moat.
Yeah, when you're coming, bring Jeff's the one that Jeff
something.
Yes.
Jeff something.
Yes.
It will cause him to go to hell.
It will cause him to go to hell.
It will cause him to go to hell, yeah.
Oh, then whatever will go to hell, you need to cut it off.
Exactly.
What will cause
what's the name?
Guys, we'll catch you on Thursday here on Sports 101. Have a lovely day.